Sponsored by Degenerates. What's happening, people? You're tuning into Comedy by Coincidence. I'm pretty sure it's episode 175. I'm pretty sure. A little bit of lag. Hey, do you have one of those things? Just saying. Word up. I'll play it again. We might as well. We love you guys. Round two. Ty's not here. We're making up for lost ground.
We're doing it again. Bigger and better than you've ever seen it before. Be very careful. She's going to do it.
Yeah, dude. You got this. Do another one. There's some Joey Diaz numbers on this fish. That did not taste how I thought it was going to. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I didn't want to say it.
I was like, I didn't want to ruin your time, you know. I don't want to ruin it big time. Well, that was a good one. I miss Ty. Where's he at? I miss him. I miss him. Yeah, good one. That was a good one. That looked more like Big Tim, but that's alright. Big Tim for the table. You know what I'm saying? For sure. For the table. You like that expression? Like when you bring a bunch of stuff and it's like for the party, it's for the table, right?
For the table.
For the table. There you go. Anyways, what's happening, everybody? We are actually podcasting. We are here. What's happening? Hey, it's your boy, Hippie Chris. Chris D, coming to you live from Davis Studios North. I'm joined by a special guest today. You know him, you love him. It's our number one guest of all time, Biggie Cheese, Ryan Schweitzer himself.
Hey,
and much like a pair of Velcro shoes, we are tieless today.
Wow.
Wow.
And holding us together like that Velcro is Dr. Evil over there on the mic, producing, helping us out. Definitely going to help me out with some stories here, keep me honest today. We have been gone for a few weeks, and I apologize. One, Chris and Ty have been out of the country, which that's a first. Chris has never been out of the country before. I'm so excited to recount it for you guys today. Number two, crippling depression. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like when everything's meaningless, sometimes the pod, especially when left to my own devices, without my man Ty making it all worthwhile, seems, you know, whatever. But we're here doing it because, again, we love you guys. Chris trying to break that streak. And I got to hang out with my buddy Ryan Schweitzer. And I was hoping Ty was supposed to be here. He got stuck at work. Shout out, Ty. He was trying to carve out some time for us. But that just means I'm going to have to tell just you about Costa Rica, and I'm going to have to tell him again. So sorry if we get some double stories on multiple podcasts, guys. Ty, you're going to have to watch this episode. I know you don't watch them back, but whatever, dude. Costa Rica adventure.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited to hear.
But-
He made me wait for this.
No. Your boy was just sick, and then we all adults out here, so it's just been a while. I haven't seen Schweitzer since before I left, and you're probably like one of the last people I saw. But let's see here. So it's been a couple weeks. I went to Costa Rica. Oh, first off, before I hop in, how are you doing, brother? It's good to have you. Thank you for hopping in on the pod today with us.
I am. You know what? I took a large amount of edibles, so
we might get lost.
We might get a little busted, but
that was just 100.
Mid as fuck,
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Cool. You didn't give me a 250, and we just put the 250 down the middle. Fuck. Are you serious? It's just a hundo?
It is in fact just a hundo.
Okay, good. We got this, dude.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we
We
got
do
this.
50s on this
Yeah,
podcast
we do.
all the time.
That's
The last time we had
that's
a
a good
guest
amount.
on and we both did 100, though, the guest, abandoned the podcast and we couldn't release the episode. So I was just a little hesitant to do all of that. But we doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get a little loose and unhinged, but as to how I'm doing in your question, aggressively mid, or as the youth say, mid as fuck.
You know what would change that?
What's that?
A hot Latino mommy coming and, entering Ryan Schweitzer's life. So, hey, if you're out there and you're a hot Latino mommy, childless or child with child, whatever, holler at Ryan Schweitzer if you got that booty and that love in your heart.
Honestly, it doesn't even have to be a Latina. Any shade of brown, I'm down to clown,
You heard it here first, folks. Thank you.
I like my women like I like my coffee, and that's all shades of brown.
He'll drink any coffee is what he's saying. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's my boy. So yeah, get a little coffee action in your life, and that'll go a long way.
Coffee
bro.
action, exactly.
In fact, I had a little coffee and chocolate adventure on Costa Rica, not in the same context. I actually toured a chocolate and coffee factory plantation, and it was pretty cool. So
that's what's up. Yeah.
We'll get there. We're going to go in order, though. So, Costa Rican adventure. I might even pull my phone up, and we'll have the worst example. This is kind of like Chris's version of shout out Ari Shafir's You Be Trippin' podcast. If you like travel podcasts or you enjoy this episode, I recommend go check out Ari Shafir's You Be Trippin' podcast, because shit, I'd be watching it, and it helped get me prepped to leave the country. So, I do enjoy that pod very much. Anyways, this is going to be Chris's version of that. Chris in Costa Rica. Chrissy, Costa Rica, coming to you live. So, we left May 9th. Let's look at the calendar. Hold on. Whoa. Throws the mic stand. Everybody sees Chris's jump.
Menace.
See ya, April.
This is raw. This is unedited.
This is happening now. This is how we do it.
This is raw. This is real.
All right.
This is my truth.
Schweitzer.
Chris.
Me and Dr. Evil are work animals, because that Thursday, May 8th, we worked. I got out of work at 7:30, and I still had cleaning and packing and staying up to do, because guess what? We didn't leave for the airport until 2, and in fact, we had to drive to Dr. Evil's parents' house to get and drop the car there, and then we all drove over together in their parents' car, because they had a spot at the airport that was kind of prepaid for.
Valid.
So at least didn't have to do the Uber in. Somebody had a car there. It's all good. And not everybody's paying for their car. So cool. But still, got to the airport at every bit of 2:30, 3 o'clock. Smoked a Victory cigarette. And then had to wait for a 5 a.m. flight to Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Miami.
I will say, and hey, family, don't judge me. Whatever. If you're listening to this and you're like, you hate your smokers? Fuck you, because your smokers flying. We're doing our best. We're doing what we can not to murder people and stuff. You know, keep it all together. Miami has a smoking section at a TGI Fridays.
Oh, that's
pretty.
Up.
That's what's up.
That's
you can
what's
order
up. Smoking
food
section
and
at the TGI
smoke
Fridays.
there. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah!
They had a bar
Get
in
you
there
some
too.
potato wedges, smoke you a cigarette.
Yeah, and it's kind of outside. Even if it rained, they had like these tarps that covered the top of it.
Oh hell yeah!
So
I love.
It's Miami, so it was kind of hot in there, but whatever. We're getting ready for Costa Rica.
We can have a cigarette. Everything's good.
Also, our gate was right next to it, so like I smoked in there till 3 minutes before my gate opened or whatever, you know, before they start calling Group A.
Yeah.
I am afraid of flying generally, and heading out there, I did take a massive dose of edibles, which did help me sleep on the flight going both ways down there. But I did get woken up to just the worst pain ever in my ears because our pilots were taking us so high up in elevation-wise that my ear canals were closing and getting like painfully painful, like somebody shoving a fucking nail in my ear.
Oh shit!
It was terrible, and I didn't hear right for like 3 days into vacation. I'll say that.
Oh shit!
It was a constant bother, but
fuck.
When we flew from Miami to Costa Rica, one flight over the Caribbean, over the Gulf, and the Gulf of Leonard Skinner, as I call it.
The Gulf of Skinner.
Not the Gulf of Mexico or America, it's Gulf of Leonard Skinner. There you go.
Skinner's Gulf.
I didn't like looking out the window and only seeing blue. You're like, oh, if this bitch goes down...
I'm saying
yeah,
that is such a terrifying experience.
Okay, I don't need a window seat if we're going over the ocean. That's fine.
No, aisle all day. I will be that asshole that is fully spread in the aisle. Oh, you gotta get through. Let me just tuck my leg in.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get out. Yeah. Anyways, we landed in Costa Rica at the Liberia airport, which is the smaller of the two airports in the country. And it was like 4 gates. They did have some food there and like cool stuff, but let's see. We landed on a tarmac and had to like disembark the plane on the tarmac.
I love that.
Kind of cool. Felt like a president a little bit, you know. Wanted to fall. Wanted to fall just to, you know, have my joke or whatever. Knew I had a lot of walking that week. You know, we don't need to start off pulling a Biden off the bat, you know.
Absolutely. Don't need to get injured right away just for the joke.
Let's see. Customs was fine. Getting into the country, we'll talk about getting out of the country in a little bit. But we landed there Friday the 9th, and I'd say we got to the hotel by 6 p.m. Okay, it was about an hour to hour and a half drive from the airport to where we were. When I pictured Costa Rica, I pictured all rainforest, right? Mm-hmm. But apparently the province, so province thinks state or whatever.
Yeah.
The province we were in was like their lowland / their grassland plains area. So there was a lot of vegetation. There were a lot of forests, but it was like a dry forest. Not to say there wasn't any rain. Plenty of rain and rivers and shit, but not nearly the amount of rain they get on the daily in the rainforest, apparently. And I did get to see some rainforest. We did go on an excursion, drive 2 hours, find the rainforest, and it's pretty cool. Get there later. But driving through the countryside to get to the hotel, you see all the like little tiny towns and stuff, and everything's like a 3-mile town tops, aside from Liberia where the airport was or whatever. And it seemed like everybody had like barbed wire fences and big ass bars over all the windows and doors and shit. And I was like, I waited and I asked the tour guide later on. I was like, hey, you guys got problems with gangs or crime or something down here? What's up with all the barbed wire and stuff? And he's like, oh no, that's just to keep the animals out. You don't need a jaguar in your house, dude. That sucks. That happens.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh
no.
man, you don't even kind of think about
I don't.
it.
Yeah,
It's
I don't have that problem. And
you
here,
don't wanna,
everybody's been watching for a single bear in our county this week. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
two
Oh,
bears.
two.
Two bears, one county. You know what I'm saying?
What's the town coming to?
Anyways.
What? Not bury
Plenty of wildlife, even on the way there. Also, all the cows, there's so much cows down there in the plains area, right? They're all the India type of cows, like the Brahmin from East Asia and India.
Oh, sure.
Like the
sure.
big shoulders, the weird water buffalo looking
Yeah.
horns, and skinny cows kind of thing. So all of the beef down there is that way too. So any burgers or steaks or anything, super lean.
Oh, yeah.
It's all this Brahmin steak and burger and
Yeah.
shit. Kind of interesting. I didn't hate it, you know. I definitely didn't taste like America burgers, you know. So
No, yeah, they're definitely different. You know,
They
they're...
had big saggy necks. They were cool.
they're cool. They're
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Lots of horses, lots of motorcycles. Like I'd say most of the drivers down there were on motorcycles.
Scary roads.
Scary roads, dude. And it felt like the rules for driving were not enforced, and drivers were doing whack shit to pass everybody,
Oh, yeah.
including the buses.
That's what it feels like down there, you
It's
know?
crazy,
like,
dude.
It's really kind of crazy when you think about the different emphasis of, like, you know, westernized United States versus, like, Central America or even, like, Southeast Asia.
At least they're all driving on the right side of the road, but still, it was traffic law is
Still
not a thing.
Still a kind of a nightmare, I imagine.
Also, I'm not sure if I saw a cop on the road. I think I saw one on the highway, but we weren't never on the highway except one time when we were going to the other province to go to the rainforest or whatever.
Well, I guess at the airport.
Yeah, and there were cops on the beach, specifically when there was a wedding going on the beach. But we'll get there too. There was need for those cops on the beach, you know.
Absolutely.
So we get to the hotel at like 6. It's an all-inclusive resort. It's Hotel Rayu Guanacaste, which Guanacaste was the province we were in.
Okay.
What? And we were at, there's technically two smudged right next to each other. We were at the Rayu Palace, okay, which is the fancier of the two. Shout out. Anyways, first night we have like a kind of pool night. Do like, there's 5 or 6 restaurants, and they're all kind of buffet style, except for 2, which are like stupid fancy. You got to dress up for them, and it's like when I say stupid fancy, I was worried about getting a bill, dude. I was worried about what that bill would look like too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Holy shit, this might be my $500 right here.
I know exactly what you're
Oh
saying.
my god. But took it easy because after all that traveling and not sleeping, we were done. We watched Legion of Skanks with Sabu. Rip Sabu, dude. Rip Sabu. He died like
Rip.
4 days after Legion of Skanks. Just a weird throwing that in there for comedy's sake. Day number 2, we had to go pick any excursions we wanted to do while we were there that were sponsored through the hotel. Like, we'd have to pick them so we could go get them done. We were only going to be there for 4 more days or whatever.
Yeah.
So, day 2, we did like mostly pool stuff until the afternoon, and then we all hopped on a catamaran, which is like a 2-sided sailboat with like just drinking. They cooked dinner for us. We went snorkeling. We went fishing. And we just cruised the Pacific coast. So we were on the Pacific side of Costa Rica. I'd never seen the Pacific Ocean before, so that was really cool.
That's hella cool.
The islands and stuff out there are like awesome. You know how like Seattle has all those cliff islands and stuff?
Yeah, the sound and everything.
It feels like that.
Okay.
So down there too. And there's volcanoes everywhere in Costa Rica. So all the sand beaches are like black sand, and all it's like that same sort of cliff style as Seattle or Washington. A lot of overgrowth on it, but then volcanic rock, which is pretty. Is just the sea makes it all sorts of crazy shapes and shit. It's pretty awesome. The beach, as soon as you step on the beach, you're accosted by what I'm going to call Shakedown Street. In Grateful Dead fan terms, Shakedown Street is where you go to find your drugs and any half-off shirts before you get in the venue and whatever. At a Grateful Dead show, that's exactly what it felt like, because there's like a trail from the pool area to get down to the beach, and the second you're off that trail, 5 locals come, "Hey, buddy! Hey, friend! You want to go on half-price excursions with me?" And, "No? Okay, you want some weed? Moto? Smoke? You need cigars? Cocaine? Cocaina?" And dude, I was just yesing everybody to death. I don't want any, but hey, if I need some later, yes, I'll come back talk to you. No, not right now, but if I need some, I'll come talk to you. Okay, thank you. Talking to everybody like that.
Yeah.
Gets me into trouble later on. We'll talk about it. I will say, Chris, weed is illegal down there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not legal like U.S. at all, you know. They're starting to get into medical. And I heard they might have dispensaries, but that are just solely medical. There's a lot of people in the family who smoke, and I'm going to leave names out. But my brother-in-law and one of the cousins, as soon as they hit the beach, were approached the same way, dude.
Of course.
And naturally, we'd all been like, how are we going to find some? Yo, if we find some, hey, grab me some, grab other person some, grab uncle some, you know.
Yeah.
Let's hook everybody up. If you got some, if you can get a big bag, we'll throw you money, kind of thing. So not 3 minutes after they're there and hit the beach, they got a half and something to smoke out of.
Yeah.
So hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. And really, in places like that, you just go, and the drugs will find you. They'll find you.
Hey, if it's supposed to happen,
like
it's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But, anyways, I didn't have to do any of that till a couple days later. We'll get there. That being said, we had a lot of fun getting to smoke with the fam and getting to know cousins, and it was a real good time had by all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see. The catamaran trip again, snorkeling, fishing, checking out islands. Good time. Got to watch the sunset from a sailboat. Amazing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Buffet.
Amazing. Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I will say I was having trouble eating the first 2 or 3 days because they have so much variety. They have so much food. All of it looks okay. Most of it's stuff you've never seen before, and you're like, okay, I'll try that. Okay, I'll try that. Nope, that didn't taste anything like that. Look. And even though like American style food, it's like the blandest of bland, and got your Brahmin beef and stuff, and
yeah,
I was just having trouble eating a whole lot the first couple of days. But that being said, I didn't really get stomach sick because of it.
That's good. Nice. Yeah.
Doctor, am I missing anything here?
No, you're doing pretty good.
Doing pretty solid. Okay. Feel free to interject if you need to at any points. Okay.
One of the members of the party almost overheated on the catamaran, but it was fine.
Yeah, I'm trying to leave out parts that might get us in trouble.
Yeah.
A little.
And that's all I'll say.
But that was yeah. Some people were getting overheated on the catamaran. You gotta remember, it was like 95 plus degrees. The UV is 11 down there. I didn't know it went past 10. Everybody kept saying UV of 11, UV of 11. I'm like, okay, I'll put sunscreen on. Sure.
Yeah.
Next day was mostly just like
a pool recovery day.
day.
Also, it was Mother's Day, so they paid for all the moms to go get a spa day, and Most of the girls went with them. But that left Chris to his own devices, which, you know, by this point I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be hollering at these boys to always use their piece. I'm going to go down there and get my own stuff.
Right.
So I go down to the beach. The first guy I talked to, he's like, the day before I'd asked him to if I could get a bowl, because he hooked the boys up with a bowl. And he was like, you got to buy weed from me if you want a bowl. You know what I mean? He was like, all right, fine. I'll see you later, you know. The next day I go back up to the same guy. I'm like, hey, if I want a bowl, I got to get weed. I get it. How much for an eighth? He's like, an eighth and a bowl? $75. I'm like, that's pretty steep, bud. Let me think on it and take a walk, and I'll talk to you later, okay? He's like, all right, buddy, come talk to me. See you, bud. You know, kind of thing. And I go walk all the way down, a mile and a half down that way, see what I get to see. Cool. Let's say this. I walk all the way down until I get too scared to keep going, you know? And
Valid.
things get a little weird out there because there's multiple shakedown streets at the beach. So
Oh yeah.
that one I know, and that one, the resort's right there. There's some other ones with like tents and people living in them, and I'm you know what? Hey, I don't want to piss nobody off. I ain't trying to walk in your backyard. I don't know what's up down here. I'm out of here. So I walk all the way to the other direction. I walk all the way to the cliffs. Great, cool. See a lot of stuff. I see sea urchins. I see these golden eagles that I've never seen in my life. Probably never. They're huge. Seeing monkeys all over the place. They have these cute white-faced capuchin monkeys that are probably this tall. This tall, not too big, not too scary, you know. Yeah. They'll run up to you and try to get food from you. Let's see. They had bigger monkeys that were all black, and they're howler monkeys.
Okay.
I want to stay the fuck away from them because I know those motherfuckers going to throw some poop at me.
They'll throw some poop.
They'll throw some poop at you, bro. You also hear all the stories of monkeys ripping people's faces off and shit. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, this is your backyard too? I'll go.
I'll go. I'm out.
Sorry, my bad. But I make my way back to the resort to Shakedown Street, find my guy again. I'm like, hey, listen, I am thinking about it. An eighth in a bowl. How much? He's like, you're still thinking about it and you came back to me. Cool. Mind you, there's 5 or 6 other people approaching me, and he knows it.
Yeah.
And I'm still coming back to him and going, yeah, listen, I talked to you first. How much for? He's like, for you now, $60, and that's your eighth in bowl. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I don't got money on me right now. I'll talk to you in a little bit. I'll come back. He's like, okay, buddy, you come back, I'll throw you a deal. I was like, okay. I think I walked back to the pool, walked up and got my money. Took more of a walk, went and got some food, thought about it, went back. $50. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, just gotta take my time. But by that point, I still had like 2 hours to kill. And I went and threw on Grateful Dead in one of 2 smoking sections. Nobody's coming to these smoking sections because smoking is just... It's not like illegal down there, but it's so looked down upon, and they don't let smoking in any public spaces.
Oh, really?
It'd be a $300 fine if they caught us smoking on our balcony, if that gives you an idea.
Oh, shit,
The balcony's designed for the smokers. What the fuck,
What
dude?
the fuck? Yeah, that's... It's pretty steep.
It's pretty steep. So, yeah, I'm smoking in these smoking sections. But we did meet one couple from Chicago that had our same names, and they had friends who smoked, and we would talk to them throughout. But after day one, we found out they were cool with weed smokers, so we were just like hanging and smoking with them and having a nice time. The other thing was our smoking section. We could see all the traffic around us, like people walking to and from the pool or coming to the smoking section, but nobody could see us. So it was like, you pick your section, you just try to stay the fuck out of anybody's business, you try not to bother anybody, you try to stay vigilant. Those are my tips for smoking in a foreign country. Okay, just try not to bother anybody, try to stay vigilant, do what you can, you know what I mean? Precisely. Be quick if people are coming down, you know, put your shit away. You know, try not to bother nobody. If you think you're going to, ask. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, we had to ask the couple that was down there because they're just having a great time chatting us up, and literally we're down here to smoke. Hey, not to be rude or anything, I just want to run by you. You okay with weed smoking? Yeah, I don't mind at all. Like, do you mind the smell of weed? If it's going to bother you, I won't. No, go ahead, please. Verbal confirmation. I'm not bothering nobody.
Yeah,
You know
that's all you need. You know, like that's polite and courteous and the thing to do. Like, hey,
I don't need to. Yeah,
you
right.
cool with this?
Yeah.
I don't need to. If you're really cool with it, I don't want to be bugging you when you're having a good time. You know, so that's totally the thing to do, to play.
And the guy who we were smoking with at that point was like, "Listen, hey, have you guys ever had a dirty monkey?" I was like, "Not coming on to me right now." He was cool. It was what he was drinking, and it was like banana chocolate liquor.
Oh yeah,
It was immaculate, dude.
They're delicious, dude.
Like as a frozen
it's like
drink.
a shake, smoothie, frappuccino deal.
Yeah, dude. I could have had multiple. I think I had 2 that day.
Oh yeah, you have any more than that though, you're gonna get some diabetes for sure. You're
gnarly,
gonna feel
dude.
pretty gnarly, dude.
I watched that man have 3 in like 2 hours, dude. I was just like, "How are you doing this, Rob?"
How are you, brother? How you doing it?
Okay. What? What about going back to the beach? No, I thought I said that I. Oh fuck! You know, I know what you're. Listen, I forgot that I didn't tell the sketchiest part of me getting weed.
Oh yeah.
I went straight to me having weed. So listen.
This is where it got him in trouble, to circle it back.
When I went back and he gave me the $50 deal, he goes, $50. I was like, perfect. Here's the money, bud. Rock and roll with it. And he's like, listen, I'm going to be right back. You stay right here. I'm not ghosting you. This is my job. I'll be right back. Okay. He's like, okay. But he left me at his tent on that main shakedown street with all these other vendors and all these other, you know what I'm saying, who have been offering me weed and seeing me. By the way, Chris stands out down there. Chris is wearing his cowboy hat the whole time.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? I'm the only guy who looks like me. I'm long hair, and also all the drug dealers are coming to talk to me because of the long hair. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this white boy needs some. Okay, so I'm standing there for not even a minute, and I told you I had 5 to 7. Let's say 5 to 7 drug dealers in total, being like, "Hey, you want some smoke? Cocaine?" You know. Guy number 2 comes rolling up out of nowhere on a motorcycle.
Oh no.
And he parks as far away from me as you are.
Oh no.
And he's like, "Hey, buddy, you need some? You finally..." I was like, "Yeah, my friend..." I literally said, "My friend is grabbing me some. I'm good. Thank you, buddy." And he goes, "My man and I thought we were friends." I'm horrified. I heard... I play cool. I play so cool. I'm so good at playing cool, but I do freak out inside, you know?
Yeah.
I'm human. I go, "No, hey, in my country, the first person you talk to is the guy you go with, and I'm sorry, man, you're number 2 or number 3, you know what I mean? Like, he got to me first, and I got to go with who I said yes to first."
Right.
He goes, he's like silent for like, I'd say 30 seconds tops. He just sits there looking at his bike and then looking at me and looking at his bike. I'm like, horrified, dude. Yeah, I'm like, this guy about to jump me, dude. He goes, "Can I just ask how much he get you for? Like, how much he grabbing? What'd you get?" And I was like, "Listen, man, he got me an eighth and a bowl for $50. So like, I'm just waiting on that." And he's like,
Yeah.
a little quiet again, and then he goes, "That's a pretty fucking good deal. I don't think I could do any better than that." Anyways, I was like, and I go, "Listen though, if you got different stuff than him, I might come back, because if he's got bad stuff, like, I'll come holler at you and grab a little more. You know, it could use some variety. In my place, I got 4 kinds and stuff. You know."
Absolutely.
He's like, okay, amigo, see ya." And he takes off literally as my guy's coming back. He sees my guy. They all know each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There's
Spot
no
them
way
together
they
on
don't.
like the last day.
Yeah, and here's the deal. These 2, I saw them sitting at the same tent just chilling later on that week. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they worked
Yeah.
together. I'm sure I would have got the same weed. They're
Oh,
all
probably.
going. By the way, they're going. I said there's multiple shakedown streets. They're
Yeah.
going over to the sketchier shakedown street and then disappearing into the jungle. You know what I
Oh.
mean? When they go to get the
Oh,
weed,
yeah,
by the
they're-
way.
So you were there for like 20 minutes or so.
No.
No.
5 tops.
5. Oh, wow.
But just my family members who also did the same confirmed that their guy, which I think they talked to guy number 2.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if guy number 2 got them the same grass in a bowl, but my guy got me grass in a bowl, I think they're getting it from the same guy who's just in the jungle
Who's
right
just
there.
got grass in a bowl.
He's got a hut down on Second Shakedown and is probably selling all that shit
Yeah.
cheaper if you're brave enough to go in there, which I wasn't.
No.
It is not. Yeah, it seems like a cool environment. If you had a guide or somebody who was
or if I
in
spoke Spanish. You
a
know,
little better.
A little
better.
than-
I was relearning Spanish down there. I'll tell you, donde es el baño? You know what I'm saying? You know, that's about what I got. Cerveza, dos cervezas. You know.
Yeah. Donde está la biblioteca?
There ain't no library down there, but
Yeah.
what?
Donde está cerveza biblioteca?
Okay, we'll get there. I will say, I jammed out to the Grateful Dead, got plenty stoned, and then we went to the fanciest of the fancy restaurants they had there. And apparently, her uncle, who again will remain nameless, got lit as fuck while the girls were gone too. Because like I'd say all of the boys were really lit, all of them drunk. I'm the only one who's like stoned off my ass, so I'm quiet when I get stoned like that. Especially in a really public family setting, I'm like I kind of shut down. I'm honing it in. I'm keeping it together, you know.
Yeah.
Being respectful, not gonna fuck shit up. He's sitting next to me, like doing Rodney Dangerfield impressions, screaming, yelling, backing.
He's not a talker. He was chatting
He is not a
everybody up.
talker
Oh,
to
It's
normally,
amazing.
and
He's
we
just-
love him when he does. But he was so loud, and this is like the fancy. Everybody had to go get dressed as fuck up. I'm
is
wearing
the
the
bougie
fanciest
restaurant,
suit-looking thing I should never wear in 95 degrees. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And then the cousins got shitty drunk that night playing games, which was fun too.
Hell yeah.
Turtle,
What turtle?
the guy.
Okay, so at this place, the Hotel Ryu, their mascot is a turtle man. And they do have a worker walking around in a fully, like, think high school mascot style suit of a turtle. And we keep seeing it sporadically outside. I can't imagine somebody in this 98 degree,
Oh,
98% humidity. It was
The
like,
only
what,
person
100%
I felt
humidity?
worse for was the guy in the giant gorilla suit busting it down on
On
Fremont
Vegas,
Street.
yeah. That was pretty
yeah.
That
gnarly,
was pretty
too.
awful too.
This, at least it's a dry heat there. This was
But
100%
he was cutting
humidity.
a rug. Like he wasn't walking.
Yeah, he was going
he was
to town.
He was
cutting a
going
rug.
to town.
Dancing like his life depended on it. Like somebody had a gun to him. This
Fuck yeah.
turtle we kept seeing outside, entertaining children, doing event stuff. Me and Dr. Evil passed him one time. We're the only ones in the aisle. We're going down these stairs to go outside. Him and his accomplice wave at us. This guy's in the other guy's in like a kid's, I think like a kid's show outfit, like really high-waisted fucking.
Yeah, high-waisted shorts.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah. Looking like a nerd kind of
looking
thing.
like
Looking like a nerd. I
Looking
don't know.
like-
I don't know.
looking
Looking like he's on
looking
Blue's
like an
Clues.
Urkel
Blue's
or
Clues
like
looking
a-
ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
we passed
Drake
the
Bell
turtle
and
and
the
his
Fairly Odd
handler.
Parents.
And his
Yeah.
Drake Bell handler, yeah. And literally, the second we get by him, they're about to go up the stairs. The second this turtle gets to the stairs, he stops and he bends halfway over like he doesn't want to go up. Like he looks exhausted. He bends fucking in half, and he just stops for a second before he goes up. And his buddy's already halfway up the first 2 stairs. He just turns back and goes, "You lazy son of a bitch," and starts hitting the fuck out of this turtle in the back. No, have some mercy. He's dying in there, dude. This man is dying. Get him out. Get him help. Take him to the medic. You guys better be paying him something. He's probably getting the most minimum fucking paying job, dude.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Free him.
Free my boy, dude. Felt so bad for Turtle Man. I also told her uncle that we were going to go see Turtle Man, like, go hunt him down. And he was like, "Turtle Man's here? Like, the alligator hunter Turtle Man? I want to get his autograph." Like, I'm like, no, not the same Turtle Man. Sorry.
No, just a man in a turtle suit.
The cousins had all been, like, pseudo-stalking him all week, too. Not, like, actively, but just recording sightings, sharing notes.
Everybody but me was ordering doubles the whole time. I did not even try to keep up with these animals, dude. They were wild.
Fuck.
On the drinking. So, I'm not even, hey, I'll go find my grass and I'll have a couple drinks, but no pressure to play any. They said drinking games, and I was like, I literally got them. I was like, "Listen, guys, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. I'll see you in a bit. Bye."
You gotta understand, we love a deal. And when you're only paying tips on the alcohol,
You might as well.
your mission is cut out for you. That's all I'm saying.
I had some free drinks. I had some Dirty Monkeys. I've always wanted to get into some sort of frozen liquor stuff. You see them all the time downtown and in Vegas, like those long. I'm like, I never know where to get those. You know where the fuck? And they look like a fucking, what do they call them? You get them at QT. Ices. You know?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Like a little slushy, frappe,
yeah, your slushy freeze stuff,
freezy, icy, Wendy's, summer slush, whatever. Yeah.
So I got into strawberry daiquiris because that's the only I can't do tropical fruits, like a pina colada. Not for me. You know what I mean? But
fair.
Strawberry daiquiris though, it's what Chris was on the whole time.
Fuck you.
It's crazy. I did go nuts on the buffet the second to last day there. We'll get there. So we had a pool day. When we had our second to last day there, we did our last excursion, which Dr. Evil, her immediate family, minus her brother, went to a rainforest tour. So I love the Rainforest Cafe. We've documented on this show before. Love Rainforest Cafe in America. I got to have lunch at a cafe in the rainforest.
Fuck yeah.
In the actual rainforest. That was
Cafe
pretty cool.
Rainforest.
Pretty good food too. I was wondering what some of it was going to be. All of it was edible. It's pretty solid.
We saw a toucan on the way there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Again, we had to go outside of the province we were in to go find the rainforest itself. I don't remember what province we went to, but we went to a waterfall and went to swim in a waterfall in the rainforest. I did not pee in it because I was like, the second I got in the water, I was like, I know I'm not in the Amazon, but we're like, you hear about all those fish that swim up your fucking urethra and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really want to be in here, actually.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
I mean, hold it.
Well, the water was clear, right?
Yeah, it was.
So
very clear.
I feel like you would have a couple of extra seconds to maybe
Be like,
sort of like
whatever.
grab one sort of noodly thing or another, in that situation.
I don't know how these things work.
I don't
know why.
I don't
that was
either.
The first
but
thing. Why? Hey,
hold on.
Hey, YouTube, thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Fucking bullshit.
That edible is kicking in a little bit.
You think so? I feel
Maybe.
like I could drive to Kentucky right now, so I'm all good. I don't know what
I'm starting to feel it. I think.
I'm probably feeling it. It's probably kicking me a little bit.
But I feel like in that situation with the pee hole fish, if you just like grab and cinch your dick, just like you would a hose, is that the play in that situation before it can get in, or do you think it's strong enough to just...
Dog, if I'm in that situation, game over. I'm having a heart attack right there. We got other things to worry about. Just leave me in the creek. Let me die in the creek, dude.
Leave me to die.
Piranha food, Yeah. Straight up. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to live long enough to find out what it does to me. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm just going to have a heart attack right there and be done.
Yeah, that...
It's the American response.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's the American way.
The American way.
Okay. So we drove about 2 hours. We found the waterfall. It's at a national preserve. We actually did have to pay money to go in the national preserve. But went swimming in a waterfall in the rainforest. Pretty cool. Ain't going to do that again. Then we went to that cafe, had lunch.
I pet a cat.
There was
a cat
and a dog at this cafe. Dog was like a little, I don't even know, Chihuahua-esque.
Oh, wow.
But Chihuahua mutt, long black hair, and so friendly.
Oh.
So friendly. And actually, that was one of 2 tour guides we had on our tour of the rainforest. Now, we were specifically... What?
Was the Chihuahua was a tour guide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Was the other tour guide the cat? Did you just have
No, he was probably like 18 to 20. And
so like a full senior cat.
No, the person, dude.
I'm like, God
no,
damn,
the cat was an elegant young lass.
I don't know why the age is relevant for this cat.
Ancient ass cat led you along. I don't believe it wanted to walk. It definitely didn't want to. No, anyways. The place we ate was called Sloth World. Well, here's the deal. They're not serving sloth. It's a reserve for the sloths, but they have a restaurant there too. Man, maybe they cooking up these sloths, dude. I hope not. That was some really
I feel
weird.
like the percentages would have been lower if that were the case.
I think
absolutely.
Those lunches would have been a lot more expensive too.
Yeah.
And did the food get to you real fast, or did it was it a little slow?
I felt like they had it ready when we arrived.
Oh, so they're definitely not serving sloth then if it came to you real fast.
No, actually, I think we had to pick. No, I don't remember. Yeah, there was a menu and we picked. I was just having a good time. We were vibing.
Yeah, they called it in on the way up there. Remember?
Right, we called it in. We had. I just remember we had options.
In the van.
Oh, it's one of those ones where you had to like fully pre-order type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just because of how much of a time constraint we were on and how much driving we had. So, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we did go take a hike. It was probably about like a mile and a half. We found 5 sloths. That was pretty cool. Took plenty of pictures and had a good time finding them. Before we headed out,
we saw frogs.
Frogs.
They were like, hey, stay on the trail because there's like jaguars and poison frogs and pit vipers. So, like, really, you don't want to get off the trail.
No, not at all.
And, again, that little tiny dog was one of our tour guides. The second you go into the woods, into the rainforest, it gets dark, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It gets dark. And it started raining on us a little.
Shit, yeah.
And that dog just immediately off trail. Out of sight, can't, go the whole time. It kept coming back and going up 20 feet. And it's almost like it was scoping out the area for us. That dog was doing nothing against a jaguar, though, I'm saying.
Honestly, I feel like dogs like that are really more just to alert. Because, like, even against a viper, I don't really think a dog like that's doing much.
No.
Like, it's just sort of... But it's going to see it, and it's going to yap.
Yeah.
And it's going to alert you to the danger, which is the whole point. And it's a dog. It can take care of itself in most situations.
If it's smart enough not to go after the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which maybe.
I mean, if it's
Morita
smart enough,
seemed like
it was doing
dog.
serpentine patterns. I feel like that dog's probably smart enough to not like engage an enemy that. You know,
it was the like semi-older dog. So like that dog, whilst tiny, seemed like
he's been around the block.
Been around, and it was so happy and such a good little friend. I remember Morita very well. It was an awesome tour guide. But like Dr. Evil said, we saw plenty of sloths, frogs. We saw blue jean poison frogs, which are like red and with like blue legs and a blue butt. It's like they're wearing blue jeans, straight up. And we saw a red-eyed green tree frog that was sleeping, so it like blended in with the. It was crazy, dude.
Lots of really cool flowers.
Trying to think of what other wildlife. Toucans, like you said, so many butterflies. Oh, blue morpho butterfly that was like this fucking big and just all blue. Like this color blue.
Oh,
pretty crazy.
Hell yeah.
Then the last thing we drove and did like a tour of a chocolate plantation factory. Got to see where they grow the chocolate and coffee beans, what they look like while they're growing, different stages. And then we went back and made coffee and chocolate milk from a bean.
That's
like
what's
there.
up.
That was pretty cool. Like,
that's what's up.
I will say the both were the bitterest fucking version I've ever
Yeah. I could imagine fresh chalky milk, dude, not
they gave you sugar cane to bite on while you were sipping it.
You know what? That
it
was pretty cool.
Unsweetened, but you had a hunk of sugar
you had the
cane
hunk
that you were
of cane.
I ate the whole
there.
thing, yeah.
Oh yeah, sugar cane's a hell of a snack.
So yeah, you'd sip just a little bit, bite on the sugar cane, evened it out a little bit. But I will say the chocolate I bought from there, crazy, dude. And I almost want to go get a new coffee maker to make the coffee. Because my coffee maker is still from college.
Oh damn!
And
well
loved and seasoned. Yeah. I think it's time. Birthday list. Let's see here. Okay, last day we had a pool day. But it was the most lit I've seen Dr. Evil since our wedding. She started getting doubles and trying to stay up with her cousins.
Last day.
Starting at 11 a.m.
Who cares?
11 a.m., dude. Cool. Exactly. So she was obliterated by like 2 or 3. Everybody was too. And I'm you know what Chris's mission is? For the last days, just to make sure we get through all the weed we bought.
I'll say it. I never rallied. I was out by like 6 and up by 8.
I will say, and it was supposed to be a pool day. They all hung out at the pool from like 10 a.m. to 5, you know? And in that time, I'd say between, let's say 1 to 4, there was a foam party.
Oh shit!
In the pool,
randomly happening around
us.
Oh
shit!
And when I say foam party,
people in sailor outfits just started coming out of nowhere.
It felt like a Brazil party out of nowhere. And when I say people in sailor outfits, men and women, in these kind of skimpy, like the dudes were in skimpy shit too. I was like, what is this? And everybody had kids too, babies and shit, and they're swimming through the foam. The foam was hot.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That makes so much sense because I bet they just got it coming from gallon tanks of water.
They had cannons that they were shooting it at us with,
and that shit's just sitting out and oh yeah.
Or I figured whatever machine spun it out might be making it hot, or it's running. I don't know, but.
So you got blasted by foam. You got blasted by a
foam
white
party.
liquid from a brown dude.
It was like we were at a fucking
from a hot white.
We ended up at a rave.
Yeah.
And again, everybody's wasted. Also, these hot chicks with squirt guns came out and started shooting the squirt guns into people's mouths of liquor.
Hell no.
Yes. No, I actually got it on
That's
this.
what's up.
Because whatever I don't know. We kept asking, hey, what is this drink? They were starting just to bring out these green drinks. Dude, honestly, the green drinks were this color, the color of a Baja Blast. So, like, first time I saw them, I was like, that actually just looks like Baja Blast. Hey, could I have one? And my cousin goes, yeah, get 3 more. Chris, try it, see if you like it. Yeah, I like it. 3 more. So I did drink. I did have like 4 or 5 of those. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think there was much liquor in them. There was liquor in them.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it tasted like Baja. It tasted like lime drink, like a Baja Blast almost, but definitely a hint of liquor.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, cool.
Hell yeah.
But that's what was in the squirt guns they were shooting at people in their mouths and shit. And like, yeah, it was fun. I will say, foam party was pretty lit.
Hell yeah.
Chris diverted from there after the foam made him not able to breathe after a while.
Oh, no.
The foam, I think I don't want to know what the foam was, dude. I don't want to know what asbestos type chemical just got fucking flown on all over the fucking place, because we did not feel right the next couple of days.
Oh no.
It was we got sick from somebody at the foam party. That's probably what it was.
I feel like it was the buffet.
Or both. I don't know. You didn't really do the buffet last night, though.
No, I feel like it would have been earlier.
I did do the
needed
buffet.
Time to incubate.
I mean, it could have been those squirt guns if you took a shot from one of those.
I don't think she did, though.
I'm just saying, if we got sick on Thursday, like if we felt sick on Thursday, we probably got sick like Monday or something like that.
Right.
I figured the plane flight home, but so we do smoke the rest of the weed. I hit the buffet one last time. Dr. Evil goes and has one last family dinner with them. We split from the hotel at, say, 9 on, what was it, Wednesday? 9 on Wednesday.
No.
Tuesday.
Yeah, no Wednesday.
Wednesday. Got to the airport. Everything was pretty smooth sailing till Miami. Well, we took off from Liberia. Actually, I will say this. I'm going to back up. We get to the Liberia airport again. I know it's going to be a couple hours before I can smoke. The family disembarks the bus, and there's no smoking anywhere inside. Hey, guys, I'll catch up with you. We got time. I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. Be back, okay? See ya. I ran into 2 people from America smoking a cigarette down there, asked for a lighter. They had just come from doing ayahuasca for like 5 days in Costa Rica, and we're like, hey, man, are you a musician? You just got a crazy look about you. I want to know more about you. What's up with you? So I tell them about the bands and stuff and this podcast. They're like, dude, you got to come back here and do ayahuasca. I think you need to. Listen to me. It's calling you. And I'm like, okay. Nice to meet you. Nance is what I think the guy's name or whatever. But, okay, go and do the flight to Miami. The pilot takes us really high, and my ears start doing the crazy, feels like imploding thing, and getting painful. She's not feeling super great, hungover, didn't sleep great night before.
I mean, I wasn't that hungover, actually, but I was nervous about the eye pains that I'd been having.
Because she had sinus shit going on the way out there, so while I was having my ear problems, she was having this crazy pain behind her eye from her sinus cavities doing the same thing, but putting a lot of pressure on her eyeball specifically. She was thinking it was going to fucking pop out of her skull kind of thing.
It hurt.
That was crazy. On the way to Miami, I start getting the same shit, But I started feeling stomach sick and shit too. Here's the thing about Miami, bro. Smoking section in Miami Airport. It's right next to our gate, right?
Smoking in
Same
Miami.
gate. That's tight. So I'm back in that smoking section the second I get there. I'm trying to smoke the pain and the time away. Schweitzer, I know. Stick with me here, man. This is important.
I'm sticking, dude. I'm sticking.
This next part is important.
All right,
need
you
him to
smoking in
hold your
Miami?
hand.
Do you need your hand down?
I need. Can we smoke a joint while I say this part?
Yeah.
If you don't, you know,
sure. Sure. Yeah, dude. What happened?
What happened? So I'm in
What
this.
happened?
I'm in this fucking smoking lounge
You're at this smoking
at this
lounge.
TGI
At
Fridays,
this TGI Fridays.
and I rip cigarette number 5. We're trying to kill the time. We're watching the Celtics game
Watch the game.
with her brother,
Yeah.
and her fam's coming and going because they're all fiends. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's just her and her brother. What is up with that? Do you keep seeing that flickering out there?
Yeah, I think we've got a light that's either not screwed in all the way or about to burn out.
You know, it's probably the one in the corner. I'll check it out later. But I keep seeing them being like, haunted. Sorry, back with it. Cigarette number 5. Dragamundo 2. I don't even go to fart.
Oh, no.
I don't even go to fart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I love how you were able to point to the specific subsection. That's crazy.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And I was like mid-talking, too. I think I was like mid-sentence. And I just stood up and walked. I walked with a meaning and a purpose. Because it had already happened, Schweitzer. You understand what I'm saying here,
I
dude?
do.
It had happened.
I do.
It had happened right there in the smoking section. I didn't even try to fart. I just literally went, and then...
Oh, my God.
I felt so bad. I'm like, did it soak through? Did it go? Am I okay? Here's the problem. It's Miami. Everybody's there. There's so many fucking flights in Miami. So I get to this bathroom and all the stalls are taken except the big one. You know what I mean, the big stall.
The handicap
But somebody's fucking cleaning it.
Oh,
Somebody's
shit.
cleaning it. And he's being real slow about it, and there's a line.
Oh, no.
There's one other guy
Fuck.
and me. Okay, so at least I didn't come up on a line of 5. But a line of 5 forms while I'm standing there.
Yeah,
and I'm unsure.
no.
I'm unsure.
Oh, no,
You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I'm
no.
dying inside. I got here.
Oh,
I
no.
was so thankful I got here. Now I'm waiting.
Fuck.
The janitor gets out of the big stall, and a little sigh of relief comes over me and this other guy. But he puts a caution wet floor sign in the door. Like don't trying to
I'm
pretend
moving
like
this
don't
sign.
use this. And the other guy does nothing. We both stand there. There's a line of 3 other people. And I literally go, oh, fuck this shit. And I go in and I push the sign back and I close the door and I lock it. And I don't even sit down. I just take my shoe. I immediately take my shoes off and take the pants off. And I just ditch the fucking underwear. There's no those underwear stayed in Miami. And I will say, Schweitzer, while it was a wet kind of thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that lead in. Well, it was a wet kind of thing.
It didn't leave any brown,
Oh,
but it
thank
was
God.
wet.
Oh,
But it was wet on the jeans. You know what I mean? On the jeans. And actually, you know, when I went in there and I had cut the line by the one guy didn't seem mad because I think guy behind me went, "What the fuck, man? If anything, you should have." And I heard the guy who like was number 1 or whatever,
Yeah.
go, "Hey, man, he seemed like he needed it He needed it. So I do think the one guy I cut off had smelled something. So he's like, hey, that guy.
He needed it.
He needed it.
He needs it more than I do.
Also,
Holy
that's
shit.
after I'm sure my shoes were off. So, like, that guy needed it, dude.
He probably saw you take your shoes off. He's like, that guy fucking needed it.
There's gonna be a screen grab of Schweitzer laughing his ass off, and you. Just
I hope this is.
sitting
I
there
hope this is
staring
the.
like you were. Just,
I hope this is the. Yeah, you crying.
I'm in tears.
No, do the Gale King like lean in empathetically.
That's okay, Ryan. That's okay, Ryan.
Oh, fuck.
So I make my shameful way back again, just a little wet, to the smoking section. And it's just Dr. Evil holding down our table with a bunch of Cokes and my smokes and mine and a bunch of other people's luggage, okay? I'm like, hey, where'd so-and-so go who was sitting here before? And Dr. Evil goes, oh, hey, they had a emergency because they hit their vape a couple too many times, and they said they had an accident
Shit.
during their vape hit, and they had to go take off to the bathroom to go try to I was like, solidarity, dude. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, you didn't. I mean, I think I stopped talking mid-sentence and abandoned a cigarette to go. She's like, are you okay? And I had to confide in her what had happened to me.
Yeah.
Also, hey, the way our travel agent booked our flights, we were all sitting with the family in like rows back to back. So like I had family behind me.
Oh, no.
And family when the actually
Oh,
the way
dear.
on the way back from Miami, we had a stranger next to us who seemed very nice and was going to visit her husband and whatever. We were trying not to bother her.
I had to pee after we got moving, but before we could fly, and it was going to be critical. But then we got stuck for an hour, so it didn't matter.
I smoked a couple more cigarettes in that TGI Fridays, deciding if I should open up my luggage and try to like change pants. And they started calling groups like group one.
Damn.
When they called group one, I was like, okay, I got time. And I went and changed jeans, and I'm so glad I did, because that last one was the worst flight, and we ended up stuck on we're stuck on the runway for like
It was an hour.
every bit of an hour and a half. I watched like a whole church episode before we were taken off into the air.
Shit. So yeah, you don't want to be in pants like
I'm
that.
so,
and,
especially
yeah.
with the fam behind me,
yeah.
in front of me. They're
Kinda
never
all around
gonna
you,
live that
yeah,
down, dude.
no.
And in fact, I just told it to the whole world, so I'm probably not gonna live it down now. But that's okay. I can be Chrissy Shitty Pants and never have if that's what I do in this life.
So you got Chrissy Shitty Pants and Pissy Fingers Chrissy was the other one, was it?
Piss Fingers Chris, was that it?
You were talking about tickling the keys and turning them
Wait,
yellow
I
on
told you
one
about that
episode.
one too.
Yeah, about Piss Fingers.
To let Pissy Chrissy tickle the ivories with his shitty
Pissy Chris.
piss covered hands. Yeah, whatever.
Amazing.
Oh my god, it really has been a shitty year
Couple
for
of
Chris.
months, yeah.
Oh man.
Chris is experiencing shit
I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's
in Miami.
in Miami.
I'm so sorry that happened. in Miami.
Although in solidarity, I will tell you that I also shat myself a couple of months ago. Recently.
Well, tell me, bro.
And this one, I was in my car. I had gotten home from work.
Damn.
I was hitting my vape, unwinding before I go in and deal with the
What's in
fan.
these vapes?
I love them. So I hit it. I do a blinker. I let a vial. It's terrible.
You do go to fart.
And
yeah.
I went to Florida. It and dude, it went It went all the way through. And I'm like, I rushed in. I checked my pants. There's brown. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta go check my car seat, make sure there's not any, leftovers there either. And thankfully there wasn't, but we still wipe it down, just
preserve.
Yeah, preserve.
That's the wrong word, sorry.
Restore?
Restorative, preventative.
Preventative.
Preserve. We want to preserve that smell. Remember.
Remember.
Well, hey, thanks in solidarity. You know what?
You're welcome.
If the internet gives me shit for shitting my pants, we did it together. Yeah. Hey, it happens.
It does.
I'm pretty sure I've told my DQ shitting myself story on the clock before, but at least I got paid to do it.
There's never been more dedication to shitting on company time than shitting yourself.
That's a big chunk of company time, too.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we never recorded. I'm playing. That would suck so much. That would suck so much.
Suck so hard.
Just as an addendum to the story, we got back, got sick, and then the tornadoes fucking happened.
Oh, yeah, St. Louis had
yeah.
a historical, terrible tornado. Donate. Find reputable places to help out if you want to help out, because, again, North St. Louis, Washington U, Forest Park, all of St. Louis City proper got hit pretty hard. We lucked out. If anybody was wondering if Chris and Davis Studio North is okay, we're okay. But people we know are affected. Our city's affected. Shit's bad. We're trying to help how we can. Help if you can, all of that. Back to it. Yeah, we were getting sick on the plane. Again, in Miami. We were feeling terrible, dude. Again, smoked like a chimney, thank God, because we were stuck on that fucking runway. Didn't need to be on that plane a second longer. We got pretty sick the day after we got back. I'm so glad we took that Thursday we got back off. And then we had a whole weekend where we were like, we really didn't have shit to do, but we didn't hit anybody up because we didn't really know what we had, and coming from a fucking straight up foreign country, like, I don't know.
100%.
I don't know what the hell's going on over here. We don't need everybody over here to get them with this. So, but it sounded like there was plenty of shit going around up here, and we just got whatever everybody else had up here at the airport or something. So, because it sounded like a nasal throat cough thing was going around.
Yeah, nasal throat,
fever.
Cough,
yeah.
Shitty thing was going around.
So that's exactly how we spent our weekend last weekend, which is also why there was no fucking episode, because we were depressed and sick and not feeling good. It was bad.
Dude.
And yeah, so that was Costa Rica. My favorite animals, seeing the sloths. I spotted one that the guy didn't even see. That was pretty cool. Favorite thing, doing the Rainforest Cafe, spending time with the fam. And would I do it again? Hell yeah. Maybe not with 17 people. If it was just having to keep track of me, Dr. Evil, and maybe 2 friends. Yeah, do that.
Small group.
That's
way easier.
Although I will say I felt safer with 17 people than I probably would with a small group. Especially her family, tall. We were easily the tallest people in the country. You know what I'm saying? Definitely the tallest people at this resort. So everybody kept going, oh.
Yeah, one of the people we bumped into was like, I think we saw your brother. And they just, they did.
Yeah, you did.
They did.
You talking about the really tall guy? Yeah, that's our fam. So we stood out. I felt safe on the beach with them. I'll say that. But yeah, the monkeys were also crazy. They're like squirrels down there. They're just everywhere, and they'll run up to you, bro.
Oh yeah.
Demand food. Hop right on you. Crazy shit. Anyways. You ever been out of the country?
I have.
Where'd you go?
I've been to Mexico, the Canada. I've been to the Dominican Republic.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
You're
those
Mr.
were
Worldwide
fun.
over here. What's up with that?
Yeah. Oh, I've
I
been
had
to
no
Hawaii.
idea.
I know
That's
that's
crazy.
not outside of the country.
No,
but
that's crazy, dude.
That's outside mainland, and
And it's
you're open
expensive.
water.
It's
Shit's
more expensive than
yeah.
fucking. That's 10 times more than
Yeah.
Costa Rica. So it's like it's the
You
whole
know.
reason we went there over Hawaii.
Yeah.
We're trying to ball on a budget. Hotel
Balling
right
on a
Guanacaste
budget and
Palace.
hell yeah. Honestly, the all-inclusive resorts are so fucking amazing.
You would have liked it. And it seemed like if you were single, there was a party to be going to or a rave to be going to every day. So
Oh yeah.
you could probably meet somebody down there.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
But if you're worried about catching shit here, I can't imagine being single and being like, what could I catch in a foreign country, though? You know what I mean? Like, oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, not much different than what you could catch here.
You know.
Yeah, if you like truly think about it, like
It's also a lot of German and a lot of French around there, too. Like, for the tourist explanations and shit. So and Chinese. Plenty of Asian people there, too. Kind of weird, the, like, mixed nationality of the guests.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, you know what's really surprising is that in countries like that, a lot of random like hodgepodge. Just everybody wants to be there. They'll just show up. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Oh,
Chris Travel Tips.
Chris Travel Tips. What you got?
Have your buddy buy the weed first, just so you don't get in trouble. I don't know. I was really concerned about. Okay, these guys are the first guys who are talking to me about weed off the reservation. Like, maybe they're undercover or something. Maybe we should get weed down there. Which is why I held off for a while, but
Yeah.
with the boys getting some from them
And it being all right.
yeah, it's like, fuck it. So travel tip. Make the boys buy the weed first. All right. No, I'm playing. I don't know. Go in pairs. Buddy system?
Yeah, buddy system. What you did doing that alone?
The beach shit? Yeah.
The beach shit, yeah.
I definitely would have felt
Yeah.
better when the guy drove up on the motorcycle had I had a buddy.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy
There you
system.
However, glad it was my wife at that point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, you don't. Although, I feel like, with your wife being tall, I feel like
That's
being
what I'm
taller than like
They
the
wouldn't fuck
majority
with
of the
us.
dudes down there.
Nobody wants to fuck with this.
Yeah,
you know what
I
I'm saying?
feel like in that mode.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my ass beat later. Yeah, good time had by all.
Good time. Hell yeah.
Until it wasn't. Right?
Until the very end. Until the final moment.
Until, wait for it, Miami. So
Until he ripped his pants. In Miami.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed this, watch out. No new dates coming up soon. We'll try to be back here soon. We're gonna try to get back on the every other week. Every week.
Every week.
Ty is in Brazil. Everybody pray for Ty. He is working a lot. It sounds like he's getting slammed and doing overtime. So pray for Ty. And if you need to know Ty's dates, holler at Elizabeth, Chelsea, Angela, Amy,
Stephanie.
Stephanie,
Carolyn,
Karen, Carol,
Caroline,
Tammy Lynn,
Tammy
Jaslyn.
Ray,
Yeah.
Jesse Ray, Jesse Lynn Ray.
Save some for the rest of us, dude. What
Yeah,
the fuck,
dude.
dude? Come on. That's enough for Ty's dates. Catch him in a city near you. Ladies.
Catch him or catch something.
Catch
he's
something,
got.
dude. Yeah, I was about to say. Holy shit. Mad love and respect, everybody. Tell a friend. Share the podcast. Leave a comment. Leave a concern. Holler at comedybycoincidence@gmail.com if you want to coerce. Talk to us. Got a comment. Concern. Whatever. We love you guys. Mad love and respect. We'll try to be back soon. Thank you, Schweitzer, for being here.
You're welcome.
You're
Thanks
a
for
bad
having me
mofo.
as always. Savages.
Well, we didn't do Savage of the Week this week. I'm going to give it to Ty for surviving Brazil, who'd probably give it to me for surviving Costa Rica. Travelers, you're the real savages. Travel somewhere. That's what I'm telling you. Peace out.